Hi, it's O.T. Carlson here, and we're not done ranking the Beatles albums yet. Technically, Past Masters Volume 1 and Volume 2 are not albums. They're collections of all the non-album A-sides, B-sides, and EP tracks. But I figured I'd go ahead and rank the songs on these similar to what I did with all of the studio albums in their catalog. We get 18 tracks on Past Masters Volume 1, which is essentially, again, all of the non-album songs that comprise the early period of the band. Again, I'm going to give the disclaimer I always do. This is my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. You're welcome to put your opinions down below in the comments section, but I do ask that you keep them civil. Any insulting or rude comments will be deleted. Let's go ahead and get started. At the absolute bottom of the list, at number 18 and 17, I have the German versions of I Want to Hold Your Hand and She Loves You. Nowadays, these are pretty much a novelty and nothing else. I mean, why would you listen to these when you could just go listen to the English language versions on the same CD? At number 16, I have Long Tall Sally. It's no secret that the Beatles loved Little Richard, and this is one of the more memorable covers of a Little Richard song that they did. Of course, Paul McCartney singing his heart out from start to finish. At number 15, I have This Boy. This is a much slower, more melodic ballad, but you get a lot of those good, like, multi-part harmony vocals that the Beatles did so well. This is, again, a collection of A-sides, B-sides, and EP tracks, so a lot of these songs here are stronger than some of the weaker tracks on the individual albums. Even the stuff that's ranked lower on here actually is very good, including this song. At number 14, I have From Me to You. One of the early pop rock hits for the Beatles, and certainly a memorable one in its own right. It's impossible not to like this song. At number 13, I have Yes It Is. Again, one of the slower ballad-type tracks. This one being a B-side, but actually a pretty strong and memorable B-side. You really can't help but, once again, love this song. At number 12, I have Matchbox. Another guy the Beatles absolutely adored and idolized was Carl Perkins. So here we get another Carl Perkins cover, this time sung by Ringo. And he does a great job singing on this one. It wouldn't be a Beatles release if you didn't have at least one track with Ringo singing, so I am glad we get this one on the Past Masters compilation. At number 11, I have I'm Down. This again is Paul McCartney singing his heart out. It largely seems like he tried to write his own Little Richard song here, and he actually does a pretty good job and pulls it off nicely. At number 10, I have I'll Get You. Again, this was a B-side. It's just a catchy, infectious pop tune. You could easily have released this as the A-side, and it would have been another massive #1 hit for the group, I'm sure. At number 9, I have Slow Down. Despite the title of the song, this is actually one of the faster tracks on the record, and it's a straight-up, fun pop rocker. It's a great Beatles track, and one that I think really needs to be revisited more often. At number 8, I have Thank You Girl. This was actually the B-side from Me to You, although I think it's the more memorable of the two tracks that was on that single. It's just, infectious pop, as only the Beatles in their younger years could do. At number 7, I have I Call Your Name. This is a song that I really don't think it's talked about all that much, but it's a very good song. Sort of a slower track, but certainly not quite a ballad. It's still a pop tune, but a very well done pop tune at that. Number 6, I have She's a Woman. Another one of those, upbeat pop rockers with Paul on lead vocals, and he just does an absolutely great job here bringing this one to life. At number 5, I have Bad Boy. This is yet another one of those songs from this early era of, single A-sides, B-sides, and EP tracks that never really gets talked about that much. And it's a shame because this is a great one. Back before John Lennon really, got into the psychedelic avant-garde stuff, he just sang his heart out with this, early pioneering rock and roll stuff. And this was his sort of homage to that. And it's a great one. This one deserves another listen. At number 4, I have Love Me Do. This song, of course, was also recorded on the Please Please Me album. The two versions are not overly different, so it's pretty much the same old song, catchy and memorable as you remember it. Great early Beatles tune and one of their biggest hits, and rightfully so. At number 3, I have I Want to Hold Your Hand. one of the most memorable songs from the early years of the Beatles. This, of course, being back when Lennon and McCartney actually meant they collaborated on songs and sung together. And I don't think you can really sum up that era of the band and their joint collaborations as well as you can with this song featuring some of the most catchy lyrics and instrumentation in rock and roll history. Number 2, I have She Loves You, one of the other massive big hits from the early years of the Beatles, and one that fans continue to love. Once again, it's another tune where you won't be able to get that chorus out of your head once you're done listening to the song. But my pick for the best track that's on Past Masters Volume 1 would have to be I Feel Fine. This, of course, came out near the end of the era that's represented on this CD. I mean, the song starts out with, deliberate distortion, and then it erupts into what very well may be one of the catchiest and all-around best songs the band ever recorded. This one really needs to show up in more Best of the Beatles lists because it's one of my personal favorites, and rightfully so. And there you have it. Of the songs featured on Past Masters Volume 1, what do you think is the best? What do you think is the worst? Comment down below and let me know what you think. As always, I ask that you keep it civil. I will delete any rude or offensive comments. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel because I'm always posting new videos, and make sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.